Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Barton, and I'll be presenting this evening on behalf of the Facilities Needs Assessment Committee within, specifically on Malakoff High School. When the Facilities Committee went into the high school, we looked at several things and found some really good things and a few things in need of assistance. But first of all, I want to talk about the good things. The building's overall condition is excellent. Obviously, the building was renovated within the last 5 years, and it's a very attractive facility. The educational program space is something that we looked at, and we seen there was an excess of 24,000 square foot of classroom space, which will be adequate for expansion within the next 10 years, we feel. When we look at overall expansion capability beyond 10 years, as far as the ability to add to the building site, there's an additional 75 acres on site. So an excellent job, and the school boards of past who have had the foresight to make sure that we have a really good long-term plan as far as facilities are concerned. One of the areas that stuck out to us was the technology infrastructure, and that's one of the areas that we look at. In this particular building, there's no video communication technology. So what is a video tech system and why do we need it? Those are some of the things I'm going to discuss with you, and kind of a plan to get us up to speed. So why a video technology system? The system will have the capability of presenting scrolling announcements, video streams, and ultimately live streaming video from our journalism lab. Information dissemination becomes seamless and current for our student population by presenting the school activities and events as well as promotional material for college and say career readiness. I'm sure a lot of us have been into the airports lately, major universities, colleges, any large facilities generally that you go into nowadays has a video technology or signage system, if you want to refer to it as that. Also, a lot of the larger high schools have these systems as well. And it's a really good media to disseminate information, communicate with the students and staff and community within a system. Another reason why video technology, in 2011, the high school campus improvement team noted that there was a lack of access to video technology within the classroom specifically. So this was also something that we addressed within our plan. So what can the system do? If you can see it on your computer screen, you can push the image, video, audio out to all classrooms and corridors. So if you think about that for just a second, there's pretty much all kinds of content can be seen on your computer screen nowadays, whether you want to watch TV, whether you want to look at a PowerPoint, whether you want to listen to the radio, it really doesn't matter. It can all be done on your video screen, on your computer screen. So that's a powerful statement if you continue to think about it and the implications for students and teachers in the classroom. Standard satellite cable can be streamed throughout. Another example, DirecTV, for instance, or some of these other satellite companies offer packages for free to schools, educational facilities, so that you can have the ability with a hard drive recorder. You can record certain, such as the History Channel may have something on the Titanic or something that's relevant to a teacher in the classroom. It can be recorded and the teacher can go to that specific channel and it can be played, whatever channel it is on their TV set or on our particular system, and they can show just that video. So the proposed system has 6 independent feeds associated with the standard television channels. So for instance, one channel may have a Welcome to Malakoff High School and the master schedule posted on a PowerPoint presentation, say from the principal's computer. The second feed may be from the journalism lab, to where the daily video announcements are done by the students. Also, a third capability, you could obviously have the standard satellite that we were discussing just a while ago, and the ability for a teacher to pick specific things that have been recorded and show into the classroom. So what is the cost? A couple of things that we looked at was a digital system versus an analog system and the capabilities of the two. And as I said a while ago, if you can see it on your computer screen, then it can be pushed out through the system that we have chosen to recommend. There are two systems. One is $55,000, one is $18,000. The $55,000 one is digital versus an $18,000 analog system. The truth of it is, you have to ask yourself, why would we go with a analog system versus digital if we're trying to incorporate technology? Well, the truth of it is, as I said, if you can see it on your computer screen, we can push it out to the classroom on an analog system. We just have to use an encoder. So there's a lot of money saved by not pushing out digital content. There's truly no advantage to pushing out the digital content into the classroom. So the committee felt that we should ask for and plan for trying to go with the analog system since there's no difference in the impact to the students. So the specifics of the system speak quite frankly about. There's a wall rack that is basically a rack that hangs on the wall for the head-end system, what's called a head-end system. It'll have 6 channel modulators in it. Each of them handles a different channel, channel 1 through 6, for instance, if you would like whatever you choose it to be, so that when you're in the classroom or in your corridors, you choose what channel through 1 through 6 that TV screen is on. And obviously determines what the feed will be. There'll be a video amplifier to, obviously when you're pushing through a large facility, you're going to need to strengthen the signal. That's what the video amplifier is for. And we're going to have to outsource for some repair and test of the existing coax system that's in the building so that they can set it at the norm 3 to 7 decibels that's needed at each outlet. But that would be something that need to be outsourced. But the total cost, as I said, is $18,000 is the estimate that we've put together. We'll talk about the funding sources. We have a Plan A. That's E-rate Tier 2 money. We'll attempt to write a grant for that. If we're unsuccessful, then obviously we need a Plan B. In Plan B, we looked at a couple of funding sources. One, the CTE state allotment. Currently, we can use 40% of that money versus the 90% of old. We can use versus the 10% of old. We can use 40% of that funding towards non-direct cost dealing with CTE. So it's certainly, in the past few years, we've rolled that into our fund balance. We feel our fund balance is healthy at this point. So we certainly see this as 40% of that state allotment could be used towards this system. The other identified source of funding is undesignated high school allotment for the 2012-13 school year. So we have several options available to you. We hope you see the need for the system. We certainly worked very hard to come up with a good plan, and I would appreciate your support, and I know that the students will ultimately. And then, again, just to wrap things up, video technology is about student achievement through access to relevant and engaging technology. And things that were relevant and engaging even 4 or 5 years ago are not today. And a video technology system is pretty much the standard communication that students are becoming used to and staying engaged with. So we want our teachers to have access to that, and we want our community to have access to that when they come into the building. So we'd appreciate your support, and have a nice afternoon.